Oh, if only the Jews could do what they're supposed to do just once.
What is that? Because I'm a Jew. I'm ready. Oh, I wanted to say that. There's two different kinds of Jews. There's millions of kinds, but there's also like
There's about
conservative.
25,000 kinds.
But there's also a conservative right wing, which is mostly what Israel is, of sane and rational Jews.
In America, you mean?
Well, America and Israel, like there are a lot of, there's probably more moderate to right-leaning rational Jews than the crazy lefties. If we really looked into it, and all the lefties are in New York and LA, and they're batshit crazy. Of course, they are in charge and run everything, but the rest of us think they're just as horrible as the rest of you. I just want to get that out. Do you agree or no?
I just feel so bad for them because I know that they feel they've been brainwashed into thinking that they're doing the right thing. I don't think they're
evil.
I don't think they're all that hateful as much as they are just misguided, and that's why I try to appeal to their common sense, but they ain't got a lot of that, it don't seem.
Well, we talked about this before. If it's PTSD or trauma-based mind control, right? Because we were both leftists, so we know the thinking. We think we're standing up for the little guy. We think, I know what they all think. It's actually good intentions. It's just batshit crazy because it's coming from a self-isolation and a feeling of victimization for the purposes of power. It's not actually defending the little guy. It's using the little guy as a pawn so that you can step over him and get your own shit, which is disgusting. That's why I don't like the left. I like the left that wants to help the little guy and bring everyone medicine. Like you and I are still left with that shit. Like we're not anti the little guy. We're not anti helping minorities. Like we still believe in that shit. But the movement now, the reason we left is because right now it's about victimization as a power tool. And that's disgusting because there's actual victims out there that they're ignoring. And I think their intention could be good. Maybe it was 15, 20 years ago, but right now I don't think it's good. I think they're fully aware that they're pushing an agenda. I think they want Trump supporters to suffer. I think they all want us in jail. They want us in prison. They want to destroy your life. That comes from hate. That comes from abuse of power. That is not defending the little guy. That's being a prick. And every leftist Democrat we know that we used to be aligned with, I'm not going to call anyone out, but we know some of those people very closely. If you talk to them for 30 seconds, you see this rage come out of them where they want you to be fucking in an internment camp or dead. It's not a disagreement. So that's what, it's not about Israel, what Tucker said. It's not about Jews it's about good versus evil, which we also talked about with Tucker. And if your hate is coming out of you and you want people to die or Assange should be in prison.
Tucker's point, hold on a minute. I thought Tucker's point was a good one, and I made it too, was that the conservative Jewry in America, has said nothing when they were teaching CRT in the public schools, which was teaching that was the hierarchy of power and meaning all white people are horrible. They were okay with them teaching that.
Right.
And they only got pissed when they came. Then the Jews were white.
That's right.
Then they snuck that one in because they couldn't have started with that one.
Right.
But that was a wedge, and then they worked up to. But the whole thing is like the whole reason we have that kind of anti-Semitic thing on our campuses. There's a reason for it. You followed the money. And if they took money from rich Arabs who said you must make it, our religion teaches us that the Jews are no good. And so you got to portray that or you don't get the money. I mean, that needs to be looked into too.
Yeah, I mean,
it's right there. These are lawsuits after lawsuits to keep BDS off of the campus. And
let me say this.
20 years people have been fighting that.
That old saying, if you ever want to know who rules you, look at who you can't make fun of. Do you know that saying? You can say, I could say this right now on YouTube. I'll probably get promoted on Jews run everything. Totally fine. Now, if I mention the Muslim Brotherhood running everything, Well, now there's going to be some hell to pay. Now we're going to get fucking deplatform shit.
Mhm.
Why is that? Why can you say Jews are in charge of everything and everyone thumbs up? And as soon as you mention the Muslim Brotherhood, which, by the way, is a lot more powerful and a lot more money than any Zionist organization,
Then
by a lot.
Then
by,
AIPAC by 100.
yeah, and also the population. They're in multiple countries. There's over 1 billion of them. And there are 14 million Jews. So I can say Jews run everything totally fine. But if I mention the Muslim Brotherhood, well, I mean, you did mention the Muslim Brotherhood one time and we know what happened. So that should tell you something. I'm not going to go off on a conspiracy theory, but at
Muslim
least look into
Brotherhood
it.
is a very, very wealthy organization that employs many Jews.
No shit. They're huge.
So they have to be, those Jews, they have to be loyal to their employers.
I understand, but you can say that the Jews are the employers. The Jews are the ones, the lobbying groups. The Jews are the ones putting all their, shifty Jew fingers on everything. But the Muslim Brotherhood, which has a lot more money, you can't talk about. Why can't we talk about?
Lobbyists are representatives of people with money.
Right.
Lobbyists are the middlemen. But
I understand.
They represent big bucks,
Yeah. But right now on Twitter, on Instagram, everywhere around the world, you can call into question the Jewish power dynamics, but nobody's talking about Arabs, Arab money, Muslim brother. Nobody's talking about it. And at the very least, it should be in the same conversation. Like, oh, Jews do it, Muslims do it too, Christians do it. Like they're all lobbies, but the Muslims always left out. The Muslim Brotherhood never in the conversation. See, Jew or Christian, white, European, conservative. These are evil. Then you got the Jew here. Never any mention. Now, let me ask you, why would that be? Why would it be okay to critique Israel? But the general arguments are, well, Hamas is justified because they're, everything's justification and occupation. It's happening here. That if it were reversed, if you could not critique Israel and Jews, then I would say maybe Jews really do run everything. But if you can critique Jews all day long in Israel without any sort of backlash, but you can't even bring up the Muslim Brotherhood, that tells me something. That's all I'm going to say.